warm up my reed. Get in tune, get my reed ready. Let's see here. Great. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Selfridge. Welcome to our live stream, and happy Mother's Day. I think it's I think we talked about this last year. What countries Mother's Day is celebrated in? Certainly the United States, and elsewhere. But happy Mother's Day to everyone who's celebrating today. It's a beautiful day. We missed last week's live stream. Why did we miss last week? Oh, I know why. So I had a busy weekend last weekend. I for the weekend I was in Wildwood, New Jersey, which is on the Atlantic Ocean. We had our championship, this big finals weekend for indoor drumline and indoor color guard. So we have an indoor drumline and an indoor color guard at our high school. And our drumline went to compete. Our color guard competed in a different finals elsewhere. But we took a big trip. It was great. It was the whole weekend. Our kids performed. They did a great job. Had a great time. And then on Sunday, I had a rehearsal for another exciting thing that's happening. I'm getting ready to go to Europe. Actually, let's bring Dennis in and say hello. Dennis, you're on with us now.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. Doing well.
Good. And I don't know if you heard that I am going back on my Europe trip this summer.
Oh, I am. I'm excited.
Yeah. So
I love the pictures. I mean, you used to send the greatest pictures.
Yep. When we get a chance and get back to the hotel, and get the free Wi-Fi.
Right.
I get to upload all my pictures to Instagram and Facebook. So it's very exciting. So the reason we missed last week, Dennis, I think I updated you guys.
You told me.
Yeah, we had a rehearsal for that group. They get all the kids together and read through all the music, and then a month from now, when we get together for the actual event, we have a rehearsal. We put the 2-hour concert together, and then we fly to Europe. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is so good.
Yeah. So,
how did you take good care of your mother for Mother's Day?
Yeah. We had our.
Yesterday.
We had a family event yesterday just to kind of do it on my brother Drew was hosting, and so they wanted to do it on a Saturday, and it was fun. Today would have been a much nicer day weather-wise, but still, we had a very nice time.
She's very special, you know that.
Yes, and I think she might be on here. So, guys, if you guys know Teresa, one of our folks who's on here helping to manage the chat. Make sure you wish her a happy Mother's Day. So thanks, Dennis. We'll be checking in a few minutes, but
okay,
we're happy to have you back.
Yep.
Okay, folks. So we are going to go straight to the chat. Make sure my keyboard is working. There's my keyboard, my piano. And we're going to go to your questions. So if you're new to the show, what happens is we talk about all kinds of music things, instrument questions you might have, and let me know what instrument you play, what questions you have about playing your instrument, specific notes or things you're having difficulty with, or just say hello. Or you can actually request me to play something, which I do a lot of on the live stream. So we're going to start saying hello to some people who are in our chat room. So we're going to say hi to Mike Hamilton, one of our oldest and fondest friends, who's been here. By oldest, I mean been around on these live streams for pretty much since the beginning. So good to see you, Mike. And Mike is in early with a request. Can I play the Firefly theme tune on saxophone? Let me go straight to that, okay? Because I'm looking through the chat and I see some requests. But if you have questions, those are great too. I love answering questions. So what we do when we have a request, what I do, is I go to YouTube. So let me go to YouTube, and the Firefly theme on saxophone. I don't know if, oh, Sunny Roads, the Ballad of Serenity. Is this it? Oh, Serenity, the Ballad of Serenity lyrics. Okay, so I think I have. Here it is, guys. Let me go here. Good. Okay. Trying to get my little picture in the corner here. There we go. Okay. So this is Mike's request. All right, let me take it back to the beginning. Okay, so it's in I'm trying to suss out the tonality. Da da da. Is this a TV show, Mike? Okay, so I'm gonna pick out this melody. Da da da. Start it right here. So interesting chord progression. Da 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 da. It's very interesting chord progression. It's, give me a little stump here, but let me try it. All right, saxophone. Okay. So it's on Mike. If you want to play this on tenor sax, it's on an A and a G. Ba 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 ba. Da da da. G G G. Serenity. Okay. So there's the first part of it. A. G G G A G G G G G A F sharp E. I'll play it along. Da 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 da. It goes to F natural, which is interesting.
You can't take the sky from me.
You can take the car. Oh, it's in like a C minor or D for us for tenor sax. Something like that. That's a cool song. Mike, is that a TV show? Let's go back to the chat and get some more questions and comments. There it is, sung by Sunny Rhodes. Okay, cool. Hello to Mia. Hi, Mia. How are you? Zoltan. Thanks for your content. I learned Pink Panther. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Zoltan, yeah, feel free to chime in with any questions you might have, okay? What is this? Oh, hi, Chase. Yesterday, if you guys follow me... Oh, no, I didn't... Did I post it on my Instagram? If you guys follow me on Instagram... Let me find it. I went to a really awesome concert yesterday. We had some... a bunch of students... All right, it's on our band Instagram, which... where I teach at Garnet Valley. So I'm going to open up this. Here we go. Check it out. Here it is. Bloop. So where Chase, who is just commenting on my live stream, if you're still here, there we go. We had some Chases in this picture. We had some Garnet Valley students who performed. Garnet Valley is where I teach. Who performed at this really awesome concert at the Kimmel Center. It was great. I was sitting right there, like right next to the stage. I'll bring Dennis in. Dennis, I don't know if you saw this or heard about this, but have you ever heard of Delaware County Youth Orchestra?
Oh, yeah.
So there's
Absolutely.
there's a young musicians orchestra, which is more like middle school, and then there's a youth orchestra, which is like high school.
Right.
And we have a good number of, we've about, 7 to 10 Garnet Valley kids in the different groups. So they had a big 50th anniversary concert yesterday at the Kimmel Center. So they weren't.
Wow.
They weren't
That's
in the
a beautiful, beautiful facility.
Yeah, they weren't in the big hall, which is in the Verizon. They were in the Perlman, which is
Right.
really
I know it is.
yeah. So and it was really cool. They did one piece with David Kim, the concertmaster, the first violinist of the orchestra. He did a feature piece with them, which was really cool. So
That's exciting.
Yeah, and
that's what makes it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And our friend Chase, one of my students, is on the stream, so that's what reminded me.
Cool.
So,
all right.
Looking back at some more of our comments here, Morphin is here. Hello, and wants to know if I will play "My Heart Will Go On." Yes. Do 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 do. Let me answer Chase's question. Chase asked me what was my favorite song that was played at the concert. Let me think about this. I have to look at the program. Let me think. What was the Chase? What was the opening song you guys played? Because I really liked that one, the Young Musicians Orchestra. And maybe Chase, you could tell us what your favorite song was, or what song do you think was the best one that you guys played? Okay, so while we're getting that answer, let's go to "My Heart Will Go On." Da, 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 da. And this is one that I know there will be a tutorial or sheet music on YouTube. So what I do for these pretty well-known songs, "My Heart Will Go On," sheet music on saxophone. So I just search for the song. Here we go. And this is what I found. Da, da, da. How's this sound? Let's see. Okay, I'll do this one. And let me see if I can get my... All right, so I'm going to go here. Let's go here. And Let's see if this works. Yes. All right, so I'm going to play this on alto sax, and I know my picture in the corner is kind of covering up some of the music. Put some nice echo. Reverb. Okay. Hello. Let's try it. Some added notes in here, pretty cool. And there's more to it, but that was one verse and one time through the chorus. So thank you for that what's that word? Request. Thank you for that request. Let's see what else we have here. And we have another request. The Nights by Avci. Okay, maybe I can do that one. We got some requests coming in, which is great. Not many questions. I'd love to see some more questions, because I like answering questions too. But we have more requests. Mike says the show that we talked about was canceled after one season. Oh, bummer. Chase, March from Tannhauser was the first one. I like that one. Oh yeah. So another cool thing about this concert was there were two pieces that were recent compositions. The one that Chase mentions right here, and the composer was there. Was the composer there? I think. Yeah, both composers were there. The composer was there. And then there was a second piece that the high school group did, which was a brand new piece, which was really cool. Okay, so now Morphin is coming in with a question. Thank you. So I'll get back to requests, but this is an interesting one. See if I can come up with an answer for this. Why is music done on a staff? So by a staff, what we mean is we've got the 5 lines, right? A lot of times you've got, when you're kind of discussing sheet music, written music, you can use your hand as we call a hand staff, because you got 5 fingers, right? And line, 5 lines on a staff. If you imagine your thumb being out here, and then in between each there's a space, so you can kind of use your hand staff. So if you go back and look at the history of how writing sheet music developed, or writing music notation, I should say, developed, it started literally with they would just write like one line to show one line to show there's a note. And what they would write is like, okay, I'm singing this note, da, 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 staying on the line. And then if they wanted your note to go up one, they'd say, all right, let me make the dot go above the line, because that's telling the person that you want your note to go up a note. Da, 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 or, up one, down one. And so it started off like that and just really developed from there. And now, why does a staff currently have 5 lines in 4 spaces. That's the way it developed. I guess that's the most efficient way to draw a staff. If you have too many lines, you start to lose your place, I guess. So they have five main lines, and you can see the middle one and then gauge off of that. So great question. That was a really just a tip of the iceberg answer, but that's why. That's where the music staff came from. Let's do some other requests. Let's see here. This one I'm curious about because I don't know it. Where'd it go? This one. Let me search for this. The Knights. I'm not sure how you say that. On saxophone. Okay, let me give this a listen. Okay, I'm going to find another version here. Just real quick. So we're in a minor key. It's an E flat minor. Starts on the 5th. Here's my piano. Let me play this again. I'm going to try to show you a little bit on the keyboard. All right, from the top. So we're in E flat minor. Once upon a young year, when all our shadows disappeared, the animals inside came out to play. Went face to face with all our fears, learned our lessons through the tears, made memories we knew would never fade. Oh. One day my father, he told me, son, don't let it slip away. He took me in his arms, I heard him say, when you get older, your heart will live for younger days. Ah. Okay. All right. So I always like to listen to a little bit more of a song to get the structure of it. That, you know, where there's an introduction, there's a verse, there's kind of like a pre-chorus, and then there's like the hook, the main part of the song, which I think we just heard. A lot of this is E flat minor, and a lot of the melody is what you would call E flat. It's a minor pentatonic scale. And actually, what's kind of cool about this, the E flat minor pentatonic scale right here is the one pentatonic scale that you can play with just playing the black keys on the piano. I don't know if you guys ever played around on a piano, and if you ever just noticed that if you just play exclusively on the black keys, you can make up some kind of cool sounding stuff, like just random, you know. Whoops. Like you won't hit a single note that sounds wrong because it just all works together. So anyway, let me learn this song here on saxophone. Here we go. So that was like the leading up to the chorus, and here we go. He said one day. Right up the minor pentatonic. Da, 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 da. Let me do it on saxophone. I'll do it on alto sax. Actually, this works pretty well because E flat minor is C minor on sax, which is alto sax, which is nice. Ba, da, da, da. Okay. Da, 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. child. It's like a repeat. My father taught. These are the nine. That never die. Yeah, this melody is exclusively the minor pentatonic notes, which is pretty cool. Let me see if I can play along with this here. Yeah, that's the main hook. Let me put a little echo on here. Something like that. It reminds me a lot of It's Been a Long. It reminds me a lot of that song. See You Again. Cool. All right, let's see what we have going on here. Questions. Why do I have stuffy air sometimes? This is Bill Nye, my guy. Why do I have stuffy air sometimes on my 2.5 reed on my clarinet? So, stuffy sound on the clarinet could be, I'd say four main culprits it could be. One, you could just need a new reed. Your reed could be in bad shape. It could just, sometimes reeds, even though they might look like they're not chipped or broken, over time they lose their vibrancy and they get stuffy and they get just sort of like they lose their life. Their vibrancy, that's the right word, and they start to sound kind of dead and kind of not vibrating the way you want them to. Or it could just be your reed is like offset. It's like not on the right way. So just make sure it's straight. Make sure you have a good like reed that's in good condition. Make sure you are, so that's like two things. Make sure you're sitting up straight and you're using the proper embouchure and you're using enough strong air. That could be the reason. I'll call that reason 3. It could be depending on the note you're playing. Make sure you're pressing the right keys on the clarinet and you're not accidentally hitting the wrong keys or sort of halfway hitting a key that you don't mean to hit. That could be the reason. So check that stuff out and see if any of that works for you, okay? All right. Zoltan. Here's a question. How many instruments do I play? Which ones? Which one was the first and latest to learn? Okay. These are okay, great questions. Okay. How many instruments do I play? This is a common question. I would say the amount of instruments that I play is kind of on a continuum of instruments I feel very confident on, like I would go out and play a professional performance on them, and going down from there to instruments that I know I can play pretty well, and then instruments that I know sort of just the basics, because when you go to school to be a music teacher, you have to get a basic working knowledge of all the common instruments commonly taught in music education in America. So if I was going to count them, it would probably be somewhere around 10 to 15, I guess. But at the top, saxophone, clarinet, flute, top. I play piano pretty well, functional piano, like chords and stuff, jazz chords. The brass instruments, I do a pretty good passable job. I can play like grade 1, 2, 3 music on those instruments. I'm not quite at a high school level on those instruments. Guitar, I can play a little bit of guitar. I can play a little bit of bass. I know the basics of string instruments, violin, viola, cello, bass, string bass, but I'm probably the least confident on those. And the double reeds, oboe and bassoon, I kind of know how they work, but I'm not too great at them. Drums, I love playing drums. So there we go. First was to learn was clarinet. Most recent, I couldn't decide on that one because I kind of just have been working on all of them for years. Most difficult to learn, probably for me, the double reeds like oboe, bassoon. This is a lot here, and the fingerings. The bassoon fingerings are like tricky. All those thumb notes. Okay. MB, the cello can play 3 octaves. Is this true? And can you explain? Yes, it's certainly true. Is that? It probably can play more than that. Let's see. Literally, I'm just going to go to cello range on Google, right? And we're going to check it out. From I have a result here from this website. So whenever you guys know this, whenever you're searching the internet for information, you can certainly Google questions that you have, but you also have to consider when you look at the answers online, you have to consider the source, right? So this is dolceviolins.net. This is a company that specializes in strings, and they look very legit, and they know what they're talking about. So here we go. I would trust this information. What is the range of the cello? So we go down to a low C, first octave. There's a C, second octave, third octave, and all the way up here to the 4th octave. And there's even a couple notes in the 5th octave. Look at that. The cello's full range of more than 4 octaves gives it one of the most expansive ranges of any instrument you can play. There we go. There's the answer. When you get up really high on the cello, you're getting up into the upper positions where you'll see someone with their fingers way up on the top of the fingerboard down to where they're bowing the strings to get up really high. Good question. Okay. There will never be another you. This is a jazz request. Do 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 do. Ah. I like that song. I'll play it. Let me look for maybe another couple of another question or two, and then I'll do that playing request. We'll say hello to Alexander from the UK. Hello, Alexander. Thanks for being here again. David Farmer, glad you're here. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Hello, Mason. How are you? We got more requests. Mia wants you raise me up. Oh, MBS about 3 octaves, but meant 3. Well, there you go. Your answer was also in that website. So actually, the two questions are related, right? Why does it? The reason it plays in 3 different clefs is because, let's go back to this picture. This actually really ties into what we were talking about with Morphin's question earlier about why music written on the lines and spaces, right? So, say you're writing music for a, can you see me up in the box up here, right? Say you're writing music for a cello, and like this is going to be the low C, right? C, ba, and you go up C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. As you go above the staff, right, we have to start right about here. You have to start writing ledger lines. So if we did not have the ability to switch the clef, you would have to just keep writing more and more lines. You'd have notes going up, 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 up with just more and more lines. And at a certain point, it becomes confusing, and it's not practical to read all of those ledger lines. So what we do, we switch the clef, and we have these other clefs which help us to go higher. Okay, help us to read higher notes without having to think so hard of all the ledger lines. And then, so we got 3 clefs here, and here's their treble clef all the way up to the top. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Let's go back here. Is there a way to clean the sax keys sticking as opposed to sending to the repair shop? So, Mike, there is an old saxophone gigging on the gig method, which is to use a bill, what a currency, like $1. They'd say use $1. So, and I don't know. I mean, it could just be you could just use. I've just used a piece of paper, but I guess the benefit of using a piece of currency like this is that it won't rip as easily as a as a piece of paper. So the reason for sticky keys is a buildup of residue and things. You know, the moisture in your breath builds up and creates, you know, stickiness. So what you do is, say this was a sticky key, you kind of maneuver the paper or the bill in there, and then you press down, and then you pull, and it kind of wipes the sticky pad. Okay, like that. So that's good in a pinch, like if you're in a performance and you have a sticky key. And if that works for you long term, then you could do that. But it's good to send out to a professional. Okay, let's go to let's go to this. I want to do this jazz request. This is the jazz song, one of my favorite jazz songs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube, Never Be Another You, and I'm going to type in play along. So in jazz, we have this, well, not just jazz. You'll see on, on YouTube, you got play along tracks. It's like basically like karaoke tracks, but for jazz, where you've got all the background parts, and they just keep repeating it so you can practice your improv. So let's take a look. This is what I'm looking at here, you guys.
1, 2, a 1.
Boop, 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 boop. This is for piano, so I could look at the piano music. Oh. Third line. Whoops. So one thing I talk to my jazz students about is when you get something called a lead sheet in jazz, it looks like this. It's the melody with chords. You get the melody and you get the chords. So you have to know how to translate. When you see E flat major 7, you know that on the piano, that's, D minor 7 flat 5, G7 flat 9. This is stuff I learned when I was in high school. I started teaching myself how to do that. But the point I'm making is, when jazz musicians actually play these tunes, right? We don't play ta 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 ta. Actually, that one's pretty close. What we do is we kind of create our own rhythm to make it a little jazzier, right? So here we go. I'll show you what I mean.
1, 2, a 1.
We would go on and do some improv, right? Jazz improv. Okay, let's go to more questions, comments, etc. Or, yeah, requests. All right. Coconut Crabs, you are welcome. Wait, you just changed your name. Okay. How old did I start playing clarinet? I was in 5th grade. And somehow, I don't know how, I think our school started in 4th grade, but I must have missed the memo or something. Maybe I was absent the day they handed out the forms. But I joined band a year late. Not that it mattered all that much, but I joined clarinet in 5th grade. Okay. Jonathan, any tips for clarinet embouchure? Yes. Okay, so clarinet embouchure, basically, clarinet embouchure, so one mistake, or one misstep, I should say, that some people make with clarinet and saxophone is they try to do the same embouchure, and they are different. They're slightly different. So saxophone, you're making like an O shape, so you should have ridges on your bottom lip around, like supporting the reed, kind of like a U shape. On clarinet, we want to do almost the opposite. We want a smooth lip stretched against your bottom teeth so there's no wrinkles at all. And then we also control from the sides. But you have this, both the saxophone and the clarinet should have this smooth pointed chin. So if your chin muscles are bunched up like this, if you can grab or if you can pinch any skin, any of your chin skin, if you can pinch it at all, that means you're not stretching out your muscles like you should. When you play clarinet and sax, you're supposed to, well, let's just talk clarinet. Smooth bottom lip against the bottom teeth and stretch out your muscles so that you could, it's kind of hard to see with my beard, but there's no skin that you can pinch because it's all stretched out. All right, does that make sense? So then, get my clarinet here. You do that. Another tip when you're doing your clarinet is just do the mouthpiece and the barrel. What note is that supposed to be? I think it's like supposed to be an F sharp. Let's see. Yeah. So on the piano, here it is. You want that to be the note that you match on the clarinet, mouthpiece, and barrel. If the note you're playing when you do that doesn't match F sharp, if it's kind of more common than not, you're going to get, you will be not supporting your air enough or not being tight enough with your embouchure that you'll get kind of a flabby flat. If your note sounds like that, that means you need to firm up here, tighten up, and really send that air like a jet stream until your sound matches the F sharp. So here's flabby sound. And then I could have engaged my muscles there and my airstream. Strong air for a strong sound. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, we're doing pretty good on time. Dark Ride on clarinet or tenor saxophone. I have no idea what this is. Let me look it up. Dark Ride song. Can you give me any bit more information about it? Oh, is it a band piece? All right. So, Randall Standridge, one of my favorite composers. This is what we're looking at here. So, you go to YouTube. I found it. A lot of times the publishers are now putting the conductor scores on YouTube, so your band directors can look at them and listen to them and decide if they want to choose this music for their concert. So this is Dark Ride by Randall Standridge. I don't know how it goes. Let's press play. It's kind of it's small because it's the conductor score. So I'll try to play the clarinet part. Oh, it's nice and slow. It's a little hard to see. It's going to speed up. Can barely see these notes. Alright, I think what I need to do, because I really can't, the notes are so small, I'm going to zoom in here, but I'm going to lose it when the page turns. Let's see. That'll help. Let's try this. Ah. Oh, that's cool. You know what? I'm going to rewind this back a little bit, and I'm just going to try to play this little cool clarinet melody. Do 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 do. That's a E. So actually, this is a cool piece. I would love to do this. So one of the things we look for, music teachers, one of the things we look for in pieces of music is we look for opportunities to teach good things about, playing your instrument. And one of the cool challenges of this piece on clarinet is you're down on your lowest note, this low E, bo, E, F sharp, G, A, B, B, C, B. You get to learn the technique down there in the bottom of the clarinet, which is so important. You guys know the pinky rule? Does anyone know the pinky rule for clarinet? That when you have to play two or more notes in a row that involve the pinkies, your pinkies on clarinet, this is the clarinet rule only. You have to, all right, let me put it this way. Every pinky note on the clarinet has more than one way to play it, with one exception. So like low E, I can play with my right pinky and my left pinky if I want to. Two ways. Two ways to play F. Two ways to play F sharp. But there's only one way to play this note, low G sharp. There's no alternate way with the left pinky to play G sharp. So the rule is, if you're using pinkies in a row, you have to alternate your pinkies. So you have to play your low E here and your low F sharp here, or play your low E here and your low F sharp here. It's your choice, but you have to alternate them. You're not supposed to go E, F sharp, or E, F sharp, because that results in kind of it won't be a smooth sound. It'll be like a blip. Oh, I didn't. I'm supposed to do chromatic here. So there we go. Sorry if that was boring, but that's a little teachable moment there. All right, let's see what else we have. All right, so Morphin, thank you, Dennis, for reminding me that Morphin really wants this song. Jorabe Tapatio. All right, let me find this. I don't know this one either. Feel free. It looks like we're at the end of our questions. So if you guys have any more questions, pop them in there. We got time. All right, Jorabe Tapatio. Let's see. So this looks like it is a sort of a traditional Mexican melody. Let's give it a listen. Oh. Dennis, I know you can't hear the music that I'm playing, but this song, Jorabe Tapatio, do you have an idea what it is? I know you'll recognize it, but do you know what it is before I play it?
No, I can't see.
I know you can't see it or hear it, but I didn't recognize it from the melody, from the name, but it is I'm trying to find the key. It's I gotta play it on here. It's do you remember that? You've heard that melody before. I did not.
Yes.
I didn't know that's what it was called. So Morphin is requesting this.
No idea.
Jorabe Tapatio. Ba 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 ba. What do we
Mexican hat dance.
Yeah, the Mexican hat dance. Well, yeah, okay. It's a traditional dance. As I'm Googling it, I'm finding it. So interesting. I don't know. I just didn't know that was the name.
Yep.
Very interesting. All right, let me try it as requested. Let me try it on saxophone. Ba 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 ba. I'm going to try to match the key that's in this. Okay, let me just show you one thing, folks, about this song, which is kind of neat. So it's whatever major key you pick. In this recording, it's in C major. If you ever want to figure this out in any key, it starts on the 5th of the chord, and it goes a half step below each note of the chord. So, and then down to the 5th. And then it just goes up the scale like that. And then it does a similar thing on the dominant chord. Okay, so I'm going to play it on saxophone. come back here. So I'm going to be in A major on alto sax. There we go. That's all there is to it. Fun melody to learn. All right. 348. Yuvaraj says, great learning. Thank you for that. Always had doubt on the rhythm. So I think Yuvaraj asked me about There Will Never Be Another You. We're talking about the jazziness of the rhythm. So I'm glad that helped. Let's go to Mia's request here. Can I please play You Raise Me Up on Flute? This is another one. I bet there will be something on YouTube with the sheet music. So I'm typing it in. Perfect. Here we go. Let's see. Which should I choose here? We've got, let's look at the options. Let's look at the options. Here we go. So we got this one, music sheet, 10K views. This one, a little picture of Josh Groban. I just want, this thumbnail is kind of like grabbing my attention. Let's check it out. Some 2 sharps. Do you guys know what this means here? Got to count the rest. 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. I'm counting the rest. We've got 2 sharps. Here we go. 8, 2, 3, 4. Note there. That's quite a range. This is fun. I'm going to play the whole thing. 2, 2, 3. Oh, Morphin is leaving. I'll see you later, buddy. Thanks for being here. Here we go. Whoops. I miscounted. So the only thing I didn't like about that, what I did there was I really kind of, that high F sharp I didn't quite get quite so nicely. So this is where, like, you know, me being primarily a saxophone player, but also trying to develop my flute playing to the point where I'm actually could do a professional gig on the flute and not worry about sounding bad on certain notes. I really need to work on the... So the secret to when you're working on high notes on the flute, it's all about your use of the airstream and getting your aperture more and more focused. And also what I've learned is the where you put your lips to the embouchure plate, you push your lips a little forward, like you're pushing them out towards the music stand, and that moves the aperture closer to the edge of the embouchure hole. So. And then you're going to the high F sharp, you really have to push even further. It's also a different fingering. You have to lift this finger up. Here I'm still struggling with that. It doesn't sound so great. Why? Oh man, I'm getting a little blip. I really have to work on my coordination of my fingers too. So that's actually we're wrapping up soon, everybody. But that's a thank you everyone. I appreciate that. David says complimenting my flute playing. Thank you, MB. I appreciate it very much. But what I was saying about like that's just a general rule of practicing. Literally, not just music. Literally, I would say. Let's bring Dennis in on this because Dennis is a wise man. Dennis, I was kind of saying the fundamental principle of getting good at whatever skill you want to get good at. To me, it's when you are able to break it down into the smallest achievable steps and go so slowly that you're doing it each step perfectly, and then build upon that.
That's true about everything. I mean, when you're teaching writing, you start at the beginning and you just keep adding things on. You go until they get what they have, and then you add little things on.
Right.
I best started said by Kobe Bryant was talking about in basketball.
Oh.
About how practice would start at 6. He'd be in the gym working at 5.
Yeah.
So for the season.
Mm-hmm.
So he has all those hours of work in. More than everybody else, and
right.
That's what he says. It's all a matter of work. If you believe in it, and you want to do it. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
I watched some of the workouts of Steph Curry. What he does to keep that 3.
Yeah, and the mechanics of the perfect shot. Where's your elbow? Where's your wrist? Where's your
exactly? And but to keep doing it so it's natural.
Yeah.
That's I'm sure. I mean, instruments are always that.
Yeah. Very tiny little. It's just you're training. When I'm teaching my beginners, I talk to them about it's like when you're training your pet how to do a trick or roll over, you have to really just go step by step and reinforce because it's like you're teaching your muscles and your brains, you're teaching your brain cells how to connect to what you want to do. And it's repetition. So. Anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, folks, we are right. I guess we're pretty much at the end here. So, I think I'm going to answer this one more question here. Zoltan, as a beginner, I'm learning on, and then after this, we're going to sign off. Okay. So everyone, please feel free to say hello and goodbye in the comments, or thank you all for being here very much. Make sure you thank Joseph and Teresa and Dennis for being here with us. But I'm going to answer Zoltan's question. As a beginner, I'm learning on a 2 reed. How do I know for sure when to step up on a 2.5? All right. Oh, and you also want the Beverly Hills Cop theme. Maybe I'll do that next week. But I'll answer your question. The answer is, I would say actually, almost right away, I'd move you off of a 2 reed. I don't really recommend starting on a 2 reed for anyone, because you can really, even a beginner can handle a 2.5 reed, and sometimes a number 2 reed is so soft that it can't really give you the proper tone quality that you need. As soon as I would try moving up now to 2.5, and as soon as you notice on the 2.5 that if you're trying to play loud notes or soft notes, or you're getting up to a high range and the sax or the instrument is just not working for you, maybe the reed is closing off when you put pressure on it, or your sound is kind of wobbly and not solid, move up to a 3. See how that works for you. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Dennis, thank you once again. Appreciate it. And David is chiming in here. If you want the reward, you have to do the work. That's absolutely true. Okay, folks. So when I sign off, you're going to see that picture, so you can reach out to me on email and Instagram and Facebook. Oh, I don't think I've updated you guys. I don't know if you guys knew, my Facebook had technical difficulties for like the past 2 months, but I'm fully back on Facebook, so you can follow me at Dr. Selfridge on Facebook. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us once again. It was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day outside, at least where I'm at. And happy Mother's Day to everyone who is celebrating. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great week. And don't forget to practice. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.